Deion Sanders didn't want to talk about his health today at Big 12 Media Day, but what he did want to talk about was how good he thinks this Colorado team is. He said while they don't have the star power of Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter, this team is much better than the two teams they've had in years past. So even though a lot of people are doubting the Buffs, it appears their head coach is as confident as ever.
Haters are punching the air, keyboards are melting, and somewhere in Ohio, someone just spilled their Mountain Dew because the Browns coach might actually put Shedeur Sanders on the first team. Yup, you heard that right. The internet's losing its mind, NFL purists are writing angry Facebook posts, and Coach Stefanski just became public enemy number one for having common sense? Buckle up, because this ain't your grandpa's quarterback selection. Let's dive into the delicious chaos Shedeur just stirred up.
And he's completed all but 12 passes with 9 touchdowns, which is also the most out of all the quarterbacks. That just hit me. Dude has 53 attempts, but 9 touchdowns. Dylan Gabriel has 83 attempts, but 8 touchdowns. I mean, it's crazy the difference between Shedeur's performance and Dylan Gabriel's performance. And so you can't tell me that Shedeur is not a better prospect.
If you think Shedeur Sanders deserves to be in the first team, please subscribe to the channel. It will help us greatly. Somewhere in a dimly lit sports bar in Cleveland, a lifelong Browns fan just chucked his foam finger into a plate of buffalo wings. Why? Because Coach Stefanski did the unthinkable. He actually considered giving Shedeur Sanders first-team reps. Yes, that Shedeur, Deion Sanders' son. Swagger-filled, Rolex-wearing, never lost in confidence, Shedeur, the one they said was just another hype machine from Colorado with a famous last name and a gold-plated highlight reel.
Sanders looking good. OTAs with the Cleveland Browns. Here's a quick clip from Shiggity Shedeur Sanders throwing darts out there. And also I have a report from practice and watching practice, and was able to see Shedeur Sanders. And can y'all talk about what he's been doing at OTAs? I know you haven't seen everything, but just, you know, this seems like right on par with Shedeur Sanders. Anything surprising to you, or should I act?
No, none surprising. I've been watching.
And now, he's got a real shot at quarterbacking one of the most tortured franchises in NFL history. No wonder Twitter imploded. Let's take a little stroll down memory lane, also known as the quarterback graveyard that is the Cleveland Browns. This franchise has had more quarterbacks than some people have had hot dinners. Every new name was the next great hope, and every season ended with a Browns fan Googling how to become emotionally numb.
Do you love or love Shedeur Sanders?
Really love Shedeur Sanders. I tried to be loyal to what, like I said, August, and what I thought throughout their careers. And I understand if you want, Dan, somebody who looks the part. I call them LTPers. That's what they are. They're LTPers. There's a couple other guys at that position that are more physically gifted, okay? When I talk about arm strength, when I talk about just imposing size, the rocket arm, the 4.6 speed, there are other quarterbacks that have that, Dan. If you want that, take those guys.
From Tim Couch to Johnny Manziel to the current question mark that is Deshaun Watson, the Browns QB carousel has been a whiplash-inducing disaster. They've tried every flavor. Heisman winners, journeymen, rookies, washouts, prayer circles, still nothing, just heartbreak and hashtags. So when the Browns coach so much as breathes the possibility of Shedeur getting a crack at the first team, the sports world short circuits. Not because it's crazy.
In the 5th round was crazy to me to be able to grab him there. And everything that I've seen so far, the dude's got the hot hand right now. Sanders is definitely running the show. I've been watching a little bit of the videos they're throwing out, and obviously, let's bring the optimism down just a little bit. It's rookies versus rookies. A lot of these rookies will probably
never. A rookie.
Yes,
training camp record.
That's ridiculous. I didn't even know there cannot be a such thing as rookie records being broken in rookie minicamp.
But because it actually makes sense, which in Browns land is what really terrifies people. Logic in Cleveland, that's practically witchcraft. This is the same franchise that's treated quarterbacks like disposable razors, cheap, temporary, and always replaced too late. So the idea of starting Shedeur Sanders not because of hype or desperation, but because he's actually good? Yeah, that's making some folks sweat harder than a kicker in a snowstorm. Not a prospect, not a placeholder, a problem for defenses, and a solution for Cleveland's eternal quarterback headache. Reports say he's already dressing like a CEO and commanding huddles like he's been here before. And not with bravado, but with that calm, I've been coached by primetime my whole life, I got this energy. The vibe, poised, focused, deadly accurate, and not just on the practice field. Word from insiders is that his reads are clean, his deep balls are surgical, and the man is out here turning second-string receivers into potential Pro Bowlers during drills. Like, real talk. Dudes who were struggling to get noticed last season are now out here catching bombs and hitting gritties like they're chasing endorsements.
Right now, he's working check to check, man. Like, he's not going to get a big signing bonus. There's not going to be a big guarantee. Top 5 pick, you're talking about $30 to $40 million. And then it sets you up for that next contract. Any day they want to get rid of him in the week, they can get rid of him. And it's really tough when they draft someone at your position because only one quarterback plays. It's not like wideout. And then in the 3rd round, they drafted Dylan Gabriel. I think either Shedeur or Kenny Pickett are going to start. I think they're going to keep Joe Flacco around just long enough to give him some seasoning. Yeah. But I think it's hard to get to your second contract when you're working check to check.
It's not just confidence, it's competence. You don't see that often, especially not in a rookie thrown into a quarterback room with enough tension to power a small city. And here's the thing, he's doing all that while being watched like a hawk by veterans who have seen 10 rookies flame out before lunch. These aren't casual teammates. They're battle-tested guys who can sniff out frauds in a single snap. And what are they doing? Nodding, respecting, some are even whispering, yo, this kid's different. Deshaun Watson, meanwhile, is present. The fans? They're torn between blind loyalty and slowly realizing the return on investment is looking more like a crypto crash than a franchise resurrection. Watson has flashes, sure, but when you compare those flashes to the full-blown light show Shedeur's putting on, yeah, we're not even talking apples and oranges. More like expired apples and a fresh gourmet smoothie blended by God himself. The contrast is so stark, it's borderline disrespectful. Watson feels like yesterday's dream. Shedeur looks like tomorrow's answer today. And that's why Browns fans are shaking, because for once, the right decision is actually obvious. And when has that ever happened in Cleveland without complete chaos?
She said that Shedeur Sanders, quote, worked alone on one of the fields for some of the modified 7-on-7s while the other 3 quarterbacks worked on the opposite field. This is a little interesting. Now, why the isolated practice reps for Shedeur Sanders? And this is where I would like to get more context around this stuff. Give us more freaking details. What was going on that separate practice field where Shedeur Sanders was taking all the 7-on-7s by himself? Who were the defenders on Shedeur's field? Who were the coaches? Where was Tommy Reese? Where was Kevin Stefanski? Was Shedeur Sanders on that separate practice field by himself with Bill Musgrave, the quarterback?
The Browns locker room isn't deaf either. There's buzz. The kind of quiet buzz that turns into outright murmurs around the Gatorade cooler. Veterans are noticing Shedeur's confidence. Rookies are already lining up to train with him. And Stefanski, he's got that slightly haunted look of a man who knows he's about to make a controversial decision and might just enjoy it. Of course, this has the haters fuming. The usual suspects are back, the gatekeepers of football tradition, the angry keyboard warriors with usernames like VBTruther1000, 997, and retired boomers with radio call-in slots. They're appalled, outraged. How dare a rookie, a flashy rookie with famous blood no less, be considered for a role of such importance? The Browns' QB seat is supposed to be earned through pain, humiliation, and at least 3 season-ending injuries. You can practically hear the pearl clutching. He hasn't paid his dues. He wears too much jewelry. He's just hype. Oh, please, this isn't 1986. Swagger isn't a crime. Shedeur isn't some TikTok star cosplaying as a quarterback. The kid is a film junkie, a pocket tactician, and has more composure than half the AFC North combined. What bothers the critics isn't that Shedeur might be unprepared, and that shatters their neat little narrative about what a real quarterback should look like.
And I would say there's a lot of work that gets done when you guys aren't out there, believe it or not. But even that's, and I say that, Mary Kay, even in a meeting or in a walkthrough, just our guys are getting exposed to a lot. Different. Every day we're mixing and matching, if you will, giving guys different looks. I've told you before, it's not going to be a 25% down the middle type thing, or I guess down to fourths, but we're trying to expose the guys to different things.
What have you?
This is an all-encompassing evaluation. So we were evaluating the guys during phase 1, during phase 2, and now finally phase 3. You get to go against your defense in some settings where our quarterbacks and our offense get to go against them in 7-on-7 and some team drills. So all of that adds up to reps for us to look at.
Let's not forget the NFL isn't a church choir. This is a business. Winning matters. And if you're Kevin Stefanski, you're sitting in your office staring at two paths. One that leads to another middling 7-10 season and a fan base calling for your head, or another that leads to a potential breakout with a QB who's got the arm, the leadership, and the media magnetism to flip the Browns' cursed narrative. Sure, it's risky, but so is doing the same failing thing and expecting different results. Even Einstein would side-eye that logic. Financially, yes, the Browns are handcuffed to Watson, but football isn't Wall Street. You don't win games with investment portfolios, you win them with touchdowns. And the dog pound, they won't know whether to bark in joy or cry into their limited edition Nick Chubb bobbleheads, because for the first time in decades, the Browns might have something real, something fun, something dangerous.
My evaluation was the most accurate quarterback I thought in this draft. When he sets his feet, when he's comfortable in the pocket, and he delivers the football, the ball goes where he wants it to go. And, this was a quarterback that was asked to have to win football games for his team. I don't think that can be overstated, is that, you go to a team, it's a really good team, and you become a complementary piece. Yeah, your stats might be a little bit better. Your win-loss record might be a little bit better. But to be asked to win games for your team, to have to go out there and throw the ball every single week for your team to be successful, and that's with, an offensive line that struggled over the last couple of years. I think there was a lot to like.
Shedeur's rise would turn the NFL on its head. Rookie QB, famous dad, media circus, and yet, crucially, legit performance. It would expose the entire double standard in the league. Every time a quiet, conventional-looking QB from a Power 5 school gets the benefit of the doubt, but Shedeur has to fight off doubters even when he's outperforming them in cleats and charisma. And let's be honest, if this were a kid named Brad Stafford from Michigan State with Shedeur's stats and precision, they'd be building a statue by now. And right now, Shedeur's body language screams command, not caution. He's not out there hoping to prove himself. He's out there expecting to dominate. Meanwhile, Watson's entire narrative feels like a Hollywood script that stalled halfway through. Promising start, massive budget, media scandal, comeback tour, but the actual performance? Flat. Like a reboot nobody asked for. The Browns front office keeps saying, give it time. But how much time do you give a guy before you admit the car won't start?
Shedeur Sanders is bar none the best quarterback in this draft. He's the best leader. He's the most surgical. He's the most accurate. And anyone who doesn't think that is just choosing to hate on him because of the name on the back of his jersey. If you strip the name off the back of his jersey and you just watch the tape tells you without a shadow of a doubt, Shedeur Sanders is the best quarterback in this year's draft, 100%.
Stefanski's dilemma is clear. Play it safe and ride the Watson train until the wheels fall off, or take the bold route and throw Shedeur into the fire. But here's the kicker. Sometimes fire forges greatness. The best QBs didn't all wait in line with a number like it was a deli counter. Some jumped the line, balled out, and made everyone else rewrite the rules. If Shedeur starts, oh boy, the NFL might need to call in emotional support coordinators for opposing defensive coordinators. First, imagine a breakout season that nobody predicted. Except, Dion, Shedeur, and the 14,000 Instagram influencers who've been manifesting this since week 1. He's dropping dimes, evading sacks like he's got cheat codes, and turning busted plays into highlight reels that melt down TikTok. Suddenly, Shedeur isn't just a quarterback, he's a cinematic universe. Marvel, take notes.
I think he'll be the best quarterback out of this draft. Watch his response every time he came off the field. And how he got with the offensive linemen, how he got with the running backs, how he got with the receivers. And he just ran the show. He has the demeanor to be an NFL football player. And I'm telling you, you wait and see.
Now add the media circus. ESPN can't stop talking about him. TMZ's following him around the parking lot to see what hoodie he's wearing. Stephen A. Smith starts each segment with this brutha and a dramatic sigh. And Skip Bayless, he's in full denial, trying to compare Shedeur's pocket presence to that of Tony Romo. and losing followers by the second. Compare him to guys like Brock Purdy and CJ Stroud. Brock was supposed to be a clipboard holder, and now he's Mr. Clutch. CJ? He walked into the NFL like it was his apartment. But Shedeur? This dude came in with a target on his back, a chip on his shoulder, and a media circus in tow, and still might torch your secondary and smile about it. The difference? Shedeur was built for the noise. While other rookies are learning how to survive, he's rewriting the script in real time.
And then you would think, and then Shedeur was... It started rocky on that very first snap, bumbled it, and kind of threw that little floater up there, and you're like, oh man, and then he settled in the first day, and then Saturday was excellent, and then Sunday, excellent again. And I'm talking ball not hitting the ground, dimes.
I didn't think there was
dimes.
There was not a single throw he's not incapable of making.
Oh, we
everywhere.
We watched one.
Everything.
You and I watched one today that was 57 yards in the air, right on stride, and no issue. And the 25-yarder was no issue. No. So I don't know. Maybe that's something he's been secretly working on. But
and just like that, Browns fans are burning their Watson jerseys with the intensity of a playoff loss and ordering custom Shedeur Sanders capes embroidered with QB1 and Prime Blood. Some are already photoshopping him into a gold jacket with the words Hall of Fame 2035 hovering in Comic Sans. Because if there's one thing Cleveland fans do well, it's overcorrect. The Browns were a joke, a meme, a cautionary tale. But now they've got a potential miracle, wrapped in Louis Vuitton cleats and fatherly swagger. Stefanski's choice could be the kind of move that gets you a statue, or gets you canned. But hey, fortune favors the bold, right? And whether you love it, hate it, fear it, or can't believe it, if Shedeur Sanders starts, everyone will be watching, especially the hater, and they'll be loud until he wins. In the end, whether Shedeur sats that starting snap or not, the mere fact that we're having this conversation speaks volumes. The Browns needed a spark, and here he is. Gold chain, bullet passes, no apologies. He's not just in the building, he's ready to run it. And if that's got the haters fuming, good, let him simmer. Because the revolution might just wear number 5 and smile like a Sanders,